Good morning, guys. This is Melvin Robinson, the $1 Million Home Inspector, coming to you from Vinings, Smyrna this morning. And this morning we're doing a pre-drywall inspection on a new construction home that has been sitting for quite some time. I think the homeowner said it was sitting since January, so they're now getting ready to start the process of the final bill. And I'm here to make sure they're doing their due diligence. So as you can see, this is not a cheap neighborhood. The home is listed right at $700, but with the upgrades and everything, it's probably close to $800,000-900,000. All right, so we're gonna get into it. We're gonna check it out, see what we got going on, and I'll let you guys know what's the deal is with it. Stay tuned. Okay, so we're in the, I consider this a boat garage, boat door, however you want to say it. Detached on the side. We got the anchor bolts here. You can see that anchor bolt, it looks pretty good. Let me zoom in a little bit. All right, it's in the center of the beam. Looks pretty good. All right, but once we get to the back of the wall, they just totally did not set these anchor bolts correctly. So that anchor bolt is not doing anything for that stud. That load-bearing beam seal plate is doing absolutely nothing. This one here, nothing at all. Same with this one, and so forth. These anchor bolts should be in the center of the beams, and it should be at least 6 inches down, which that's not a problem, but it's not gonna hold the wood down. We wanna make sure that that's taken care of. All right, we got a aggressive electrician. Rather than them popping the nails down or doing something, they decide to just put the electrical wire right around the nails. That's the most ingenious thing I've ever seen in my life, but he did it. He didn't get a nail caught or anything. This one almost caught, but he barely missed it. So we're gonna notate that. First of all, why did they miss the studs so many times? Got studs missed right there, as well as over here on this side. We got a couple of beams that's cracked, need to be repaired. Want to make sure that that's in the report as well. We don't want any load problems. We got another beam that's cracked here that needs to be replaced. Okay, so up in this corner, we got a load-bearing beam that's sitting on a 2x6. That beam is not touching the 2x6, so this beam here is cut a little short and it's not making full contact. So that could possibly start to cause some structural issues, some cracking, and we want to make sure that that's documented, make sure the builder's aware of that, and go from there. Okay, right here we have a return duct that's in the ceiling, and this is looks like a 12-inch return. So anytime you have a 12-inch return, you want to make sure that it's free and clear all the way through back to the system, so it has adequate return air coming back to the system. So if you start to choke it down, which if you look up in there, you can see where you have about 6 inches that's protruding into the duct, that's gonna restrict the airflow going back. Now that may very well work, possibly perfect. It may work fine, but I'm a licensed heating and air contractor. If my guys did that, I would have them to remove it, relocate this return. And the one thing that I noticed that it's probably gonna cause is an air velocity problem. You're gonna hear a lot of whooshing sound. The duct is gonna be, anytime you see ripples in it, the air is gonna travel the least path of resistance. So it's gonna hit that corner and it's gonna start to penetrate and make noise. So the homeowner will start to hear noise. It'll be uncomfortable while they're sitting in the living room, and you wanna make sure that that gets repaired. So I'm gonna notate that as well. Okay, as you can see, this is a pretty large floor plan. And a lot of times when you have ductwork, the ductwork is too long. So what they do is make a split or a continuous run. They'll break it. Usually what we like to see is an elbow in between there. On the outside, you want to put a strap. And that way the inspectors know that it's a elbow in there, a hard pipe elbow, to make a continuous load. All right. Right here, this is the back side of the steps. We got studs coming off of a load-bearing beam. They notched the hell out of this these studs. So you got notch holes everywhere. This wood is split. Notch holes on the back. That wood is damaged. They're not gonna be able to get a plate on the back side of there. Plate here, plate is broken. So these studs need to be replaced in order to make sure that it's properly setting the load right. I wouldn't recommend putting any type of plates on them because it's weakened the integrity of that stud. So that stud can actually break along that line. Want to make sure that that's taken care of. All right, as I previously stated, the home was sitting vacant for about 6 months, no windows, and right here you have a floor that still has moisture in it. You can visibly see the moisture in it. So what I'm gonna do is check it with my moisture meter. All right, so that moisture meter is reading 32%. You can see where the nails is starting to rust. They're sinking into the floor. When this floor starts to dry out, the nails are gonna stay put and the floor is gonna start to rise. That's gonna cause that floor to warp and it's gonna cause squeaking noise for the homeowner. So this floor needs to be replaced. A lot of times the builder will say, well, it just needs to dry out. We can go ahead and continue to work on it, but my recommendation would be to replace this floor. Most of the water came in from this roof. You can see water sitting on this vapor barrier, coming in right here up against this wall or around those nail penetrations. We got a little bit more water on this side. So that area needs to be roofed to keep this moisture from coming in. All right, right here we have a stud that's running from the top of the outer staircase. That's a double beam. That's a load bearing wall. We got a stud here. Down at the bottom, we got not a continuous stud. So we got a gap here. That stud should be resting along that 2x6. And that needs to take place. Somebody wrote a nice little gesture there. I'm sure they may have realized they got to go back and repair that. So we got to get that taken care of. All right, so we're at the top of the home. It's a 3-story, pretty big home. All right, so we got studs up here. We got the floor. We got this floor is squeaking. It's squeaking all the way across. That needs to be repaired. And just while I was up here, I was looking at this wall. These studs they're not parallel, they're not straight, perpendicular, it's just horrible. That needs to be taken care of. You could just see it bowing in between each truss. We got bowing here, we got bowing there. And that's definitely something that needs to be taken care of. So once I looked there, I got further over into this wall. And I noticed that on this truss here, we got a total break. So we got a gusset plate that's broken. Try to get it from this angle. See that at the very top? All right, and this is once you see something like this, you know that the builder either just did not catch this or they just did not care to repair it properly. So we got a truss that's broken all the way down halfway. They used a sister joist to member up against it. We got it, it's not going all the way to the bottom. That's a broken sister joist. So they just took an old piece of wood, nailed it in. It's already starting to split on the outside right there. And they didn't take it all the way to the bottom. All right, we got another split here. That truss is broken, completely damaged. And the plate is broken at the very top as well. And this plate here is just completely off. I've never seen anything like this. So anytime a person says, I don't want to get a pre-draw wall, I don't want an inspection, definitely need to give somebody a call. You can call us, you can give anybody that's readily available to inspect your new home to make sure that you don't have problems like this. So that needs to be repaired ASAP. And I'm assuming all these trusses that's broken are the reason why you have offsets in the wall. All right, so we got broken trusses there. We got walls that are not straight that need to be actually repaired. Floor is squeaking as well. So a lot of things that happen in new construction should be repaired on this end of the inspection rather than waiting till the homeowner gets in the home, having issues. That wall is going to be a monster to repair. I don't know how they're going to repair it. It's really not our job to figure out how to repair it. It's our job to report on the repair. So we want to make sure that things are documented, make sure everything's properly annotated in the report. That way the homeowner can have all the things they need to do to go back to the builder. So, all right, Melvin Robinson, Integrity Air and Home Inspection, give us a call.